Jordan Chiles, an accomplished American gymnast, found herself at the center of controversy when the International Olympic Committee, IOC, stripped her of a bronze medal. The decision has sparked widespread outrage, particularly due to accusations of racism that have come to the forefront, highlighted by none other than Chiles' sister. The incident in question occurred during a high-stakes competition where Chiles had put on an impressive performance, earning what many believed was a well-deserved bronze medal. However, in a shocking turn of events, the IOC decided to strip her of the medal, citing what they claimed were technical irregularities in her routine. This decision, however, was met with skepticism and anger, especially from the Chiles family. Jordan's sister, Jasmine Chiles, took to social media to voice her frustration and outrage. In a series of impassioned posts, she accused the IOC of harboring racial biases and unfairly targeting her sister because of her race. Jasmine argued that the decision to strip Jordan of her medal was not based on merit or any legitimate technical fault, but rather on discriminatory practices that have long plagued the world of sports. Jasmine's accusations quickly gained traction, resonating with many who have long criticized the IOC for its alleged lack of diversity and inclusivity. She pointed out that similar technical irregularities have been overlooked or handled differently when it involved athletes from other countries or backgrounds. Jasmine's claims are part of a broader conversation about the treatment of Black athletes in sports, particularly in gymnastics, where the judging has often been called into question for its lack of fairness and objectivity. The controversy has reignited discussions about racial inequality within the Olympic Games and the broader sports community. Supporters of Chiles argue that the decision to strip her of the medal is reflective of a systemic issue within the IOC and other governing bodies that disproportionately affects athletes of color. The incident has led to calls for a thorough investigation into the IOC's practices and decision-making processes, with many demanding accountability and transparency. Jasmine Chiles' statements have also inspired a wave of support for Jordan, with many people taking to social media to express their solidarity. The hashtag #JusticeForJordan began trending, with users highlighting the ongoing struggles that athletes of color face in gaining fair treatment and recognition in their respective sports. Fans and fellow athletes alike have condemned the IOC's decision, calling it an injustice that undermines the principles of fair play and sportsmanship. The incident also brings attention to the broader issue of how athletes, particularly women of color, are treated in the world of gymnastics. The sport has a long history of being criticized for its rigid standards and the subjectivity of its judging. Critics argue that these standards often disadvantage Black gymnasts, who are judged more harshly than their white counterparts. The stripping of Chiles' medal has only added fuel to this ongoing debate, with many calling for a complete overhaul of how gymnastics competitions are judged and how the IOC handles such disputes. As the controversy continues to unfold, the IOC has yet to respond directly to the allegations of racism. They maintain that the decision was purely based on the rules and regulations governing the sport. However, the growing outcry suggests that this explanation will not suffice for those who believe that racial bias played a role in the decision. In the wake of this incident, Jordan Chiles has remained composed and focused, continuing to train and compete at the highest level. Despite the setback, she has received an outpouring of support from fans and fellow athletes who recognize her talent and perseverance. The situation has only strengthened the resolve of those advocating for greater equality and justice in sports, as they continue to push for systemic change in how athletes are treated, both on and off the field.